you a fan of Martin guitars? Well, today is your lucky day. And so is tomorrow. And the day after that's looking pretty good too. The NAMM show opens on January 24th, and Martin will be unveiling one new model every day between now and then. It means we have a lot to talk about. You're watching part one of a many-part video series where we're going to follow Martin all along the way. Every time they introduce something new, we're going to be all over it. The very first guitar we're going to talk about is the Martin 0028 Modern Deluxe in the new Modern Deluxe series, which contains a lot of familiar standard series faces, but with some key upgrades like figured wood binding, vintage tone system top, VTS bracing, gold hardware, and really a lot of things that used to be exclusive to custom shop and authentic instruments. Also, it's worth noting, all these Modern Deluxe instruments will have the new Modern Deluxe neck shape. Interestingly enough, the 0028 will be the only short-scale addition to this new series, and so I'd like to bring in by remote one of our favorite Martin guitar short-scale fans, Spoon Phillips of One Man's Guitar. We're going to join us live today via satellite from Brooklyn, New York. Happy New Year, Spoon. How are you doing?
And Happy New Year to you, old friend. And isn't it always a great day when new Martin models are announced?
What are you most excited about when it comes to the new 2019 0028 Modern Deluxe?
Well, unlike the standard series 0028, which I happen to like a lot, this new Modern Deluxe 0028 has 1/4-inch bracing. And a lot of people don't know yet, it also gets golden era scalloping. And that means that more wood is removed from the brace as it's carved, and the scallops themselves have higher, more extreme angles. And this all leads to a uniquely flexible brace compared to standard scalloping. And when you consider these braces are made from VTS Adirondack spruce, like the authentic series models, and they're paired with VTS Sitka spruce tops, we are talking about one powerful turbocharged triple knot. And then there's the new neck shape.
It's our understanding that you had something to do with this neck shape. Is that true?
Well, maybe a little something. About 4 years ago, I was sitting in the custom shop office with some senior design people at Martin, checking out the amazing 1930 OM45 Deluxe, which had recently been purchased at auction for the Martin Museum. The conversation turned to what was it about the necks from that specific period that were so amazingly comfortable, especially since they were vintage V-necks. And after playing that instrument for about a half an hour, I had suggested that subtly it seemed like the apex of the neck wasn't going straight down the neck, but was skewed slightly toward the bass side, so that it seemed to fit more naturally into that nook when the thumb reaches around the neck. And it also felt like it might have been a little fuller on the bass side, while the angle coming off of the apex on the treble side seemed to be faster or sleeker, so the fingers reached around to the strings more easily. They then sent an employee out for some technology that I'm not allowed to talk about, but he very quickly produced three-dimensional convex molds of sections from that particular neck. And when you could look at them and from different angles, it became immediately apparent just how asymmetrical that neck actually was. So they got some other vintage Martins and came up with similar results.
And didn't they go on to use this discovery when they made the OM45 Authentic 1930?
Correct. But until now, only that $100,000 Authentic Series model, the OM45 Deluxe Authentic 1930, had benefited from this discovery.
But this new vintage Deluxe neck has the Martin High Performance taper, so the neck and fingerboard don't get quite as wide in the upper frets as the older vintage Martins.
Yes. And I believe that the combination of the sleeker fretboard taper with this new vintage deluxe neck profile that is appearing on the new Modern Deluxe series is going to have an awful lot of people saying these are the most comfortable necks Martin has made in the modern era. And I believe the short scale version on the new Triple Knot 28 MD may in fact be the belle of the ball and might even be the queen of Martin's entire NAMM offering.
I'm sure you're looking forward to all the 2019 Martin guitar models, which Mari's Music will be featuring once a day between now and the beginning of the NAMM show. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you'll take some time tomorrow and give us your thoughts on another new Martin guitar from the NAMM lineup.
Well, thank you. I certainly am glad to be here, and I look forward to seeing you again.
And I know our viewers can hardly wait for your demo videos, available exclusively at Mari's Music, where you get it for less.